Kronika in this game was already a bad character, but her final boss is no different. Seriously. If you're on easy mode or playing as a character you're really good at, this fight is insultingly easy. Seriously, the first time I fought Kronika, I mopped the floor with her. And if there's one thing a final boss shouldn't be, it's anticlimactic and easy. Because that's how I felt with Kronika. Another thing, and while the music is decent and the design of Kronika is fine, I mean, the atmosphere is less so. Especially with the arena scene in the background. Like, seriously, I've seen way better than the final boss arena. You know, even in worse games than MK11. The only redeeming quality is, once again, the music. So, let's move to a better final boss before I drown in horribleness. Now this is an epic fight. Palpatine is the hardest boss in this game. He has the most HP. He's a threat to you at all ranges. And the music is epic. Combined with the fact that the clashes both with Saber and the Force are epic. And overall, well, it's fitting that the Emperor of the Galaxy gets such an epic boss fight. And due to the fact that it's the most challenging Palpatine fight I've faced, it ends up on this list. And, if you didn't notice, the final boss theme is literally in homage to a couple of the Revenge of the Sith, it seems, in Star Wars. Now, let's move on. Bowder in this game is part rip-off of the Wii version and part are uninspired. Phase 1 is literally a rip-off of both the Wii and an original version. Original because he throws hammers, Wii version because he acts the exact same. Right down to the boss theme. The same thing carries over to Phase 2, except Phase 2 is a platformer, and Bowser's attacks are easily telegraphed, meaning unless there are little to no platforms in the arena, you're going to be able to dodge Bowser's attacks. And if you get the right to Nuki Leaf, Bowser's fire is a joke. Given that it doesn't even harm you. Now, if you get the right to Nuki Leaf for this fight, the entire thing is a joke since you can just walk up to Bowser no problem. Now, there is one thing I like. The music. While it is ripped from the Wii version still has good music. But that's the only amount of praise I can give this fight. King Boo is epic. So I don't really need to say much more on that. For starters, his final boss themes are epic. Phase 1, which you're hearing right now, was a good start. Phase 2 ramps up the intensity, and Phase 3 jacks it up all the way to 11. Not only that, but each phase ramps up the difficulty. Now, Phase 2 and Phase 3, King Boo duplicates himself. Well, how do you tell the difference? Look at the fangs. If you see something different between the original and the clone, you'll be able to see what it is. Also, The tactic here is to wait till King Boo throws the spike balls and then throw the bombs that are hidden in there in his mouth. Similar to what you do to a Dodongo in the Zelda series. It's a fun little piece of trivia for you. Yeah. After that, you can probably put these two together. Phase 3 is on a time limit, but it's not that bad, especially compared to another boss that we'll get to later. Anyways, this boss is great. And one that I highly recommend. While some people prefer Dark Moon, I prefer this version simply because it feels more intense. The Joker in the Lego Batman DS game has a boring boss fight. Seriously, I've seen other Lego games with far better boss themes. And also better fights in general. Like, for example, the Wii version of this game has a way better final boss. Well, this version is just boring. Right? Nothing else to explain here, just boring. That's all I need to say. Next! Now this is epic. World of Light may be a terrible story mode due to its tedious pacing, but the final boss is great. It's Phase 1 and the platforming section. A little annoying, but once you get it down, it's not that bad. Phase 2 is a boss rush, but don't worry. The bosses in this game are decent, if not good. But so, you'll be able to take them down. Once the final fight begins, though, that's where the difficulty really starts. First, I recommend hippity-hopping between fighting Galim and Darkon. Do not just target one. And if you do, once you kill one of them, the other will have way more HP, and will concentrate on killing you rather than hitting the other one and only seeing you as a side effect. Which is why I recommend going between each of them. Also, be warned, while their attacks do harm each other, they can still harm you. So be sure to watch out for that. Also, when they're stunned, one of them will try to attack the one that's stunned. Back off when this happens, unless as they're concentrated on doing another attack. And once one of them is down, put all of your concentration on killing the other. And if you do what I suggested, that should be easy. See, the music is phenomenal, by the way. I don't really need to say much on that. Now, unfortunately, now I have to go to the worst again. Oh boy, this one is B-A-D, bad. Trypticon in this game is bad. All of his attacks are capable of either nearly or completely deleting your health bar. Only one of these attacks can be taken out of the equation permanently, and even then, and it's still not easy to do. Not to mention, there's a bloody time limit. Trypticon's HP is also pretty high, despite the fact that he's supposed to be weakened. And due to how this game works, you're pretty much stuck in a fixed position unless you hide under cover. The problem is, the more you hide under the cover, the less ammo you have. And to think, there is an achievement in this game for being able to beat this boss without getting hit, which I have actually completed, but still, it is tedious. The only thing I like is the Now, I couldn't find the actual music for this boss fight, so I had to resort to guessing Starscream's final boss theme from Transformers Decepticons from the DS. It's because there was nothing else for me to get. Now, this next one after this is one of the most iconic Mario fights in Mario history. And I think you know which one this is. You knew this fight would be on here. For starters, the music is great, the designs for these characters are amazing, the atmosphere is incredible. Overall, there's not much bad I can say about this fight. The only criticism I really have is that the remake, while they tried to make it a little bit more difficult, they didn't go hard enough. They just added more HP and gave the Dark Star Core a new attack. Me personally, I'd have liked it if they did more with both. Like, for example, we'll give Dark Bowser double the HP and give him a few more attacks, and maybe have Dark Fluffle use some attacks similar to Calamity. Now, this is an homage to Superstar Saga. Other than that, this fight is incredible. Especially the music. Like, seriously. It's like both Juno songs and Man on the Internet have made new covers of this theme. And Dog's Eating Dog 6's channel has 5 mashups. 5! Overall, this is one of the greatest final bosses in gaming history. And the Mario and Luigi games deserve the love they get, and maybe even a little more. Okay. Now, it's time to torture myself. But before that, let's read over the Dishonorable Mentions. This fight is unbearable. In fact, it's not just one fight, it's 2 fights. The first final boss fight against Commander Hask is tedious. The fact that it's a TIE fighter battle, as such, the only way the devs were able to make it feel like an actual boss was to make the fight tedious. Like, seriously. Commander Hask never stops moving. And when he does stop moving, it's only for a little bit. And by the way, you might be thinking, what if I just shoot him rapidly? Don't bother, because then you won't be able to lock onto him, and you'll miss most of the time anyway. The best way to get a guaranteed hit is to lock onto him. But once again, he never stops moving, making this a chore. Not to mention, there's no atmosphere. Like, seriously, there's a reason why I'm playing World of Nothing in the background. The second fight with him is even worse. It's reminiscent of Lucian from Fable 2, due to the fact that you kill him in one hit, and the death is not satisfying. Unlike with Lucian from Fable 2, you can technically still call this a boss fight due to the fact that you can lose to him. But the problem is, you actually have to try to lose to him. And as such, this is not only my most hated Star Wars boss, but also my most despised fight in video game history. At least when it comes to the fights that I've actually fought against. Now, before we get sent to the final boss I love, let's get to the honorable mentions. You knew that this fight would be here. That is, if you know me personally. If not, then you were probably surprised. Anyways, this fight is incredible. Not only does it actually test all of your skills in this game, due to the fact that it can actually be vulnerable to the runes, but the best way to fight it in Phase 2 and Phase 3 is to dodge his attacks and even do flurry rushes. The only skill that it doesn't test you on is the perfect counter. And even then, that barely matters. Not to mention, the music is absolutely incredible. There's a reason why I stalled before talking about how great this fight is. This is just so you could get a taste. Not to mention the design. Look at the design I'm showing you through the screen. It's incredible. In fact, probably one of my favorite Ganon designs, period. Not to mention, the fight is hard. Not as hard as mutated Ganons in the same game, it's still hard. Especially since Phase 1 is literally impossible. In fact, you can't hurt him. It's really just showing how powerful this character is. And it makes your eventual victory over him feel that much more earned. Thus making this not only my favorite final boss, but also pretty much my favorite boss fight ever. Nah. Ow. I know that Ancient Calamity was hated upon release, but say what you will about the game. But I'm just gonna say it. The final boss of this game is better than the ones in Breath of the Wild. In pretty much every way. Hey, and I will not be told otherwise.